Happy Thursday. I'm your co-host, Adam Marburger, here with Wake Up Riverbend, episode number 4, with special guest Dan King. We're excited. We've got a lot of really great people that we've been talking with, and we've had some great guests so far. And tonight's show is going to be action-packed. There's going to be a lot of energy, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Let me bring in my better-looking half, Katie. Yo.
What's going on?
Yo, how are you? Did you miss me?
I'm great.
Road. I'm in Florida. Like, I'm not even going to be home this month, ever. I want to know how much you miss me from a scale of 1 to 7. How much you miss me?
I probably about a 6.5.
What do I got to do to make it a 7? What do I got to do to make it a 7? Where am I falling short?
I'll think about that. I don't know.
Anyway.
I know you're in Florida. How's Florida? You're way more excited than what I'm doing right now.
It's good. No, hey, it's our annual trip with the girls. We're down here enjoying the beach, the food, and been eating a lot of seafood. And actually, I've been sleeping really good.
Good.
One of the rules of engagement on this trip was I'm allowed to work. I'm a psycho for work. It is what it is. Don't judge. I'm allowed to work from 6 to 9. 6 to 9. And I've been getting up, knocking it out, hammering a few meetings, but I've been leaving it alone. I've been able to unplug, which is a blessing. Tell me about what you
gotta learn when to say no.
It's hard. It's hard. What do you got going on this week?
It's beautiful this week. It's 70 degrees this morning. It was 84 today, I think, for the high. Just perfect. Going outside every chance I get. Summer is over next week. Kids go back to school next week, so we're seeing a lot of kids coming into the office before they go back to school and just, staying busy. Enjoying being a mom, that's for sure.
Good. I'm here. You work your tail off. I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you, especially with the toddlers, they're not easy, but it's worth it, right? So, I know you're really excited. I know Dan, our special guest, is a good friend of yours. You've known him a long time. I've gotten to know him a little bit over the last few years. His energy is insane. Like, this guy he's special. There's something about him. He's truly remarkable. And his resume, like I look at, like Katie, I always tell people, I don't need to stroke your ego. Okay. You got a big enough ego, right?
Right.
No, you don't. You're humble. I love you. You've got a resume, Katie. Like, you've got a stacked resume. Man, but Dan has got a freaking stacked resume as well. My good. What is it how long have you known Dan?
I've known him since 6th grade, I guess, since we were 12. So over 20 years. And he's always been that way. I call him Danny still. I'm sorry. But Dan, he's always been high energy. He's always been the leader. He's always gotten people to follow what he's doing. He's always been able to make friends everywhere he goes. And he's a nutball. He's just a ball of fun. I love running into him. And I ran into him at Kohl's last year, I guess, whenever he bought Sports Tap, and he was just so excited and so energized. He said, I quit my job. I bought Sports Tap. And so he's got a really cool story that I think everybody's going to enjoy hearing, because I don't think a lot of people understand where he came from to owning a restaurant. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. I just look at his list of accomplishments, and it's truly remarkable. And the guy's got such a big heart too. He's truly making change in our community. He's not boasting about it. He's doing things in private that nobody knows, and he does them because it's the right thing. So I'm excited. Let me ask you, before we bring on our special guest, let me ask you as an entrepreneur, you're Katie, and I hear, what, every now and then I got to call you out and I got to throw something at you, because that's what people, because I love you. What did you learn this week about entrepreneurship? Anything thrown your way that you had to maybe kind of reset a little bit, deal with the situation? What happened this week that you can maybe share with our viewers?
I would say probably what I've realized is the busier I get, the harder it is sometimes to grow, because you're working in your business, not on your business. And so I'm, thankful for an extremely busy practice. And I realized like 5 days in, I'm not even on social media sharing what I'm paying somebody to, create an ad for me, or I'm not, following up on certain little things. And so it's hard to get overwhelmed, hard not to get overwhelmed whenever you have so many irons in the fire. And so just kind of recentering, I thought this weekend I'm going to try to recenter and reorganize and try to get my mindset back into growth as well, instead of just being, in the moment.
Good for you, Katie. Good for you. It's not easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not easy. It's being a business owner. Everybody talks about, the word entrepreneur. I think that it's kind of a sexy buzzword. Everybody wants to be one until they become one, and then they realize that sometimes you're better off as an employee. So hats
and I know
off.
you have a hard time with turning off too, and then you're down here with all these kids, 4 children, and your girlfriend on this vacation, and trying to find a way to even turn your brain off, even if you don't have your cell phone, right? How are you doing with that? You turning your brain off at all?
Let me tell you, I'm not doing great. I'm doing much better than I expected. I draw boundaries, non-negotiables, and I've been able to kind of stay true to those. I get up in the morning, I've been doing my work, but I've been putting the phone down. I've been putting the social media down. I realize that the time, you got these buckets that we live in. We got our faith, we've got our family, we've got our finances, we've got our friends, we've got our vocation, we have our personal development, we have our children, right? We've got all these buckets we got to fill. And if we leave a bucket non-filled, it's going to affect the other parts in our life. So I realize the importance of making sure that we're keeping the buckets filled. Now, I'll tell you, this vacation was a necessity. It's very important. But with that being said, Katie, let's bring in our special guest. Let's bring in Mr. Dan King to the party. Dan, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me switch screens real quick. How's your day going?
It's absolutely fantastic. It's wing day at Sports Tap, so we're busy and we're having a good time.
Great. Are you actually?
What's wing day? Tell me about it.
Wing day. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah. So wing day, we drop a pound of wings for $8.99. We've been voted best wings in Madison County for 9 years in a row. So wing day here, it's busy, it's fluid, it's well known, and it's our busiest weeknight of the week consecutively. Everybody knows where to get the best wings in Madison County, and we're happy to serve them and take good care of them. So that's where I'm at every Thursday.
Yeah, Christmas for the last 10 years, minimum 10 years. I go to my dad and stepmom's house in Bethalto. I'm the wing guy. On Christmas Eve, by the way, Dan, you're good for 100 wings out of me every Christmas Eve, brother. I'm going to be every Christmas. I'm the wing guy. I got to bring the wings. If I don't bring the wings, I'm out of the family. So let's start with this. Dan, I'll tell you, Katie and I were kind of chit-chatting earlier, and, I'm so grateful you're here tonight. I know Katie's grateful. You got quite the resume, my friend. Like you've done a lot. Let me just kind of bring this down. I'm going to throw some things at you and let's have some fun. Are you down with that, Dan?
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. Let's have a good time tonight.
So you went to Marquette. Did you graduate from Marquette or Roxana? Where did you graduate?
I graduated from Roxana. I don't know if you remember, Adam. We had the number 2 small school football team in the U.S. at Marquette my junior year, and we went to a party, let's just say, and we all got arrested and got beat 63-0.
I didn't.
Yeah, Katie didn't. I happened to be a part of the shenanigans. So I did 3 years at Marquette, and my final year was Roxana. And to this day, I have amazing friends from both places. So everything happens for a reason, even tragedy sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm an Oiler. Do we have beef? Like I'm a Wooder. Do we have beef? Are we good? Is it like Tupac, Biggie, East Coast West? Are we good or not good?
I think we're pretty good.
So you're Roxana. So I see you've got a bachelor's in business, bachelor's in nursing, master's, and I got to read this down because I can't remember this. Master's in health administration, a doctorate in business management. Like what else? What am I missing? What else do you have? What am I missing here?
Adam, I'll be honest. My brother used to call me Van Wilder. I went to McKendree. I played football, and then I transferred to Western Kentucky and played rugby. I went to school for business. I graduated in 2008 during the Great Recession, as we know it. My mother was a nurse. I've always admired my mom, her hard work, and how she was able to provide for our family. She's like, you should be a nurse, Danny. You'll be good at it. You know how to take care of people. So I went into nursing with my business degree, knowing I wanted to lead nurses. Because as a staff nurse, I touch 3 to 4 lives a day. As the manager of all these staff nurses, I'm touching 30 to 45, lives a day. So went into nursing and then kind of wanted to continue that management leadership track. So that's kind of how I stumbled upon that.
Fantastic. So one thing I want to, we'll just get right into the business here. You've got an incredible resume. Like, you've done a lot of really great things from an educational standpoint. When I look at a business and I see a new acquisition, which you bought Sports Tap. When did you buy the deal? When was that deal done?
March 15th of 2021 is when we closed, which was right when we were starting to come out of the pandemic, right? I mean, there was still the flotation of the pandemic. Things were opening up. But was the numbers creeping back up? What's the next move? But March 15th of 2021 is when we signed the dotted line.
Yeah. And so within a year, you had a 50% increase in gross profit. As a business owner, Katie and I were talking about this earlier, like if her and I were to experience a 50% growth increase in our companies this year, like, we would be Katie, I would make her pay, because I would make her pay, but she's taking me to Maui. Like that, like if we had a 50% gross increase in our companies, how the hell did you do that? Like, without giving your secret sauce away, unless you want to give it, how the hell did you make that happen, my friend?
That's a great question. I guess when you put everything you have that you worked for years and years and years on the line, failure is not an option. I did have a lot of experience in Nashville, Tennessee, and I knew I was going to bring a new product to Sports Tap, our hot chicken, which has done very well. But that's one key ingredient into the long-term success. Immediately, we dumped money into 2 new sand volleyball courts. So immediately, as a new business owner, we wanted people to know there was a change, right? It might not have been the best time to invest money in the sand volleyball court, but it was the right time in order for people to know, hey, things are changing here. So we developed a new menu. We started doing little changes. We added TVs. We added audio. We're a sports bar. We started focusing on it. And then I'll be honest with you, Adam, it was 2 shifts a day, 7 days a week. My wife and I were looking at buying a home health company. We stumbled across this business for sale that we loved. And a lot about healthcare translates into the hospitality, right? You treat people right. You make them feel special. You thank them for coming. You connect with them, and they come back. You can slightly miss on the food. You can't do it all the time. But people come back because the way you made them feel. Not because the way your building looks, not because of your prices, not even necessarily because of the food. But if you make somebody feel special, you thank them, you create a connection, they come back. And I think we were very fortunate and able to relate to people, bring them in, and kind of show them that we appreciate their business. And we're going to keep working to make sure that we meet all their expectations and surpass them. So it was a crazy milestone. It was my 24-month plan, and we did it in 12. And
awesome.
it was nothing but hard work and encouraging our employees and deploying them with the proper resources to be successful. So
I was going to ask you about your employees, Dan. Like I said, I said earlier, I've known you for a long time. I know how you are with people. You can completely harass a teacher and still get them to like you. I've seen you do it multiple times. So I'm wondering what you're like as a boss. Like I was contemplating this earlier today, like, okay, I've seen the scary side of your father, and I have a feeling you have some of that in you. And I've also seen the silly side of you and how you are so good at connecting to people. And I just wonder how you feel like you're doing managing people. Obviously you were managing people in a setting where, they respected you because you had more degrees than them and more knowledge of medical stuff. And this, you're walking in new, they've been there, and you're coming in and changing all the stuff up. How did that go down?
That's a great question. I think the thing about anything about change management, whether it's in literature or real life, is you have to develop trust with your staff, right? So the first 90 days I was here, all I did was say, I'm going to follow through on everything I said I'm going to do. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to be there. When a table needs bussed, I'm going to beat our busser to that table to bust it. I'm going to show you there's not one job here that I think I'm above or I can't do. And to this day, I don't know if anyone busses more tables than me at night. And it's kind of a pride thing that, like, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do the work with you. I'm going to do it when the toilet overflows. I'm not going to ask you to clean it. I'm going to clean it. But it's being authentic. It's being an adaptive leadership and following through on what you're going to say. And if you do that, you can build a team that believes in you and knows that you have their best interests. And then when you have the opportunity, and sometimes it takes a while, you give them back. You treat them right? You give them an opportunity for a raise if they deserve it. You give them a bonus when they deserve it. And I know extrinsic motivation is short term. Intrinsic motivation lasts a long time. So if they believe in me, they believe in my mission, they believe in how I treat them and the customers, man, there's not a change we can't tackle. So I think all of that just kind of changed into this, hey, we believe in each other. We're going to all on one for all. Sounds a little corny, but I think that's what we did.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of business owners of restaurants do that. I mean, I know quite a few, and I feel like, you know, sometimes they almost get chastised for being involved, and you have to be involved in your business. You need to be hands-on, especially when it's new. And I love that approach. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Let's cheers to that, Dan. Here, give a toast to me. I mean, that's, you know, we got a toast for that right there. So here, cheers.
Hey, and there's one thing I'm proud of. And I said, when I bought a bar or a restaurant, nobody here would ever know what I like to drink. My biggest fear was anyone to see every time I see Dan, he has a Bud Light in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest fear. That's not me. I want them to say, hey, every time I see this guy, he's hustling. Every time I see this guy, he's with the staff. He's pumping them up. He's working. That was you'll never catch me sitting at my bar. I don't believe in it. I'm here to work just like everybody else. But Dan, you made a good point earlier about kind of, it's hard to work on your business when you're working your business, right? And there's a lot of days here, and unfortunately, with the job market's turn, the employment market, we've been very fortunate. We haven't cut hours. We actually have people applying we don't have jobs for. But when someone calls in, sometimes you have to pick up the slack. You got to wash the dishes. I'm going to be the one to do it, and that keeps my staff motivated moving forward. We're all in this together. So
yeah, you know, here I think in a perfect world, like, you know, the idea, I think long term, I think the three of us can relate very identically when it comes to our business visions. The grand finale, I think, for us is to be 100% working on and not in our business. But that's down the road. And I think the three of us find joy in working in our business. And so let me ask you this. I'm going to throw this to you. You know, we talk about our why. You know, a lot of people, like, it's real simple to say, well, what's your why? We do things for a why. And a lot of times people have a hard time identifying what their why really is. And I believe that people don't really buy what you do or how you do it. I believe that people buy why you do it. And I can tell by just chatting with you for we've been online for less than 20 minutes. You got a lot of passion. So why the hell do you get up in the morning and do what you do? You know, what is it that fuels your passion to go in there and make a difference, investing in your team, which I guarantee you probably don't use the word employee. You're investing in your team. You're loving, you're bussing, you're doing all the things a lot of freaking restaurant owners aren't doing. So you're doing all the stuff that most aren't. Why are you doing it?
Hey, thank you for asking me that, Adam. I really appreciate that. I sincerely do. And my why is authentic. My why is not selfish. My why is not stubborn. I believe in a greater mission. And I believe that I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where I have 40 plus employees and 2 different restaurants. And I have the ability, and I'm fortunate enough to help them grow and chase their dreams and invest back in them, and to give people a good night out, right? No matter what kind of daytime they've had. Like, I'm so fortunate and able to lead people to lead missions, to give back to the 5A Society or Officer Timmons, or all of these things that happen with our community. That there's two things in life that you have relationships and you have experiences, and nothing else in my world matters. Not one thing material. I could go out and buy myself a new truck and I will think I'm cool for the next 7 days. And then I come back to reality.
Amen.
When I come back to reality, I'm so happy about, like I've talked about off air, giving my kitchen staff a Christmas. Every one of them got a taxes paid Christmas. That keeps me going. Like the ability to donate to the Humane Society for these animals that have no say in what happened to them, to be able to provide and give. Like motivation can't come from material things. Motivation has to come from your ability to create influence and impact. Right? So being able to impact my employees' lives, my guests' lives, I'm very fortunate enough to have that opportunity. I've worked very hard to get to where I am, but there's no stopping now. I'm not satisfied, Adam. 2 restaurants is not what we're out to seek. We're here to do a greater good for a lot of people.
I love it. You know, here you're in the restaurant space now, like, but you have a pretty long history in the medical field. You know, like it's crazy how it's been flipped on its head. You know, Katie, you're my homegirl, but the idea if you came to me tomorrow and said, you know what, Adam, I think Jake and I are going to sell everything and we're going to start an Italian restaurant and 10x that son of a gun, and we're going all in. I would go, Katie, like, what about your practice? Like, right? So Dan, you know, you turn this on its head a little bit, like where and why and when. Like you were deeply committed to the medical field. Obviously, your credentials, or I don't want to repeat them because there's too many. Why? Why did you flip it on its head? And tell us a little about that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I appreciate you asking that question. And to be honest, healthcare and hospitality are still service industries. You're still impacting the way people feel. Managing trauma units downtown St. Louis, working in the ER down there. At one point at Barnes Jewish Hospital, I ran the entire night shift. That was my department. It was loss of limb. It was loss of life every day. But I was grateful and fortunate that I was able to help the people that I could help. And I knew every night I gave 110%, and so did my team. And I was looking to pursue entrepreneurship in home health when I came across Sports Tap. But there's a lot of similarities between healthcare and the restaurant space. It's about making people feel good. It's about making people feel, thankful that they came here. It's about making people feel special, that they mean something. And when I first brought this up to my wife, I thought she was going to say, Dan, you're insane. You've worked, 10 plus years in the space. You did 14 and a half years of college. You have a big department. You're teaching in the master's program at Webster University. You are impacting people's lives every day. But it wasn't on my terms, right? It wasn't this vision that I had for myself when I grew up that said, I want to do it on my own. I want to make people have a better day every day. And there's a lot more similarities in the restaurant space and healthcare than people realize when I got here. Going to tables, finding a way to relate, thanking them. Like a lot of people come here not in the best mood, but if they can leave here remembering how you treat them, it's a pay it forward approach. When my wife said, Dan, I think you'll be good at it. You should do it. I said, Julie, every Friday and Saturday night I used to be home. I'm not going to be home. That's the business. I know, and I think you should do it. And I'm so fortunate enough to have that support. And I'll tell you what, Adam and Katie, if you can't tell, I feel alive. I feel like I wake up before most people, and I know I go to bed later after them. And I wake up with passion and commitment every single day.
You know what? Because you're not working, man. You're not. This isn't work. Katie, you don't work. I don't work. We don't work. We're serving our purpose. We're using our God-given abilities to help people. And here's one thing I want to say real quick. And I've done a really crappy job, Katie. I'm going to call you out. You've done a crappy job. we don't promote our show like we should, because really the reason Wake Up Riverbend is about the community, and it's about celebrating entrepreneurship and highlighting individuals like yourself, Dan, that are doing really great things. Here's what Katie and I need you to do. Here's for our audience. For those that are following, we love you first. Second, we need you to share these feeds out. You know, at the beginning of the show, I kind of fail sometimes to ask for that. But the best thing you can do to help others is to share this out on your personal feeds. So if you're watching this on the replay, share it anyway. If you're watching this live, share. For those that are leaving comments, leave the comments. Dan, myself, and Katie will get back in those comments and we'll respond to those comments. You know, for those that want to know a little bit more, please respond, send messages. It's about growing our community. And I'm going to segue into the next thing is I absolutely have an obsession about the Riverbend. I am so in love. You know, I live a life that I'm on a plane almost every week, man. I travel everywhere. And I'm blessed beyond measure to do so. But there's nothing that compares to the Riverbend. To me, nothing compares to it. You know, like I was thinking, I'm looking at some property right here in Destin, actually. I'm in Destin right now. I'm looking at some property. Do I want a home in Florida? Yep. Am I going to get a home in Florida? Yep. Is it going to be my forever home? Nope. Because Alton, Godfrey, that's where I'm from. And so let me ask you, and I know Katie and I, we've talked a lot about why we love our community, but I want to know, and I think we want to know, why do you love our community? And what is it about our community that you love?
That's a great question. And I'm not sure if you saw the city council meeting Monday night, but I had a little setback on Monday night. And I felt that I invested in a part of the community at the old Mini Corral building. It was condemned by the health department, and that building didn't have a lot of interest. I love the community, just like you just said, Adam, for many reasons. I'm sure we're similar. And I bought that property and I said, hey, I'm going to bring a product here that's unique, rare, hip, cool. Everybody can afford it. Everybody's welcome. We're going to build this brand, and this brand's not going to be for just Alton. This is our test kitchen. I don't know if anyone knows here, but I signed an agreement to bring that same thing to Kirkwood, Missouri, and I have a food truck being built right now. It's called Heaterz Hot Chicken. And I love this thing.
Is it in the Mini Corral building?
Yes, we are the old Mini Corral building.
Yes, yeah.
So what happened at the Monday night meeting?
Oh, yes. So here's the deal.
Tell us. We gotta know. Let's keep it.
You stepped right over that.
Let's not dig anybody in the ditch or crush anybody, but let's
never do that.
Let's go, baby.
Let's talk. So when I applied for that building, my goal was to create new jobs, was to create a part of that community to serve food into the evening time, even the late night evening time, where that niche wasn't being met. There's the Jack in the Box in Upper Alton, and that's about it. Yeah. Today, there's enough room for us to play there too. And we're going to be very community friendly. We have a really cool currency for caring program we're about to roll out. We're going to donate a lot of food to people in need. So we built this. We went to, we had all of the backgrounds. We got our liquor license for a sit and drink, et cetera. And we were trying to get the gaming. And the reason why we wanted gaming is because sometimes our food takes a little bit to come out. It's ancillary entertainment, and it mitigates the risk of opening a high failure rate probability of a new restaurant in a neighborhood where Alton wasn't really investing in. So we did it. We got our liquor license. We got all the signatures. We did everything we needed to do. In the middle of this, Alton decides they're going to put a new ordinance on how many gaming licenses are available. Mm-hmm. This is after we invested in our electric upgrades, everything like that. So we were told we were going to get denied, although we have a state license. So I went to City Hall and I said, hey, guys, here's what I'm doing for the community. You know, we've raised $1,500 for the 5A. We're the #1 sponsor in their tournament. We're the #1 sponsor for the Alton Renegade football program because that serves a lot of kids who are underprivileged. We raised we didn't raise, but we provided $2,000 of free food for the Officer Timmons Foundation. We went out to Jake Reinering, the Captain Foundation, over We donated. We've done. We were the amphitheater committee. We're a top sponsor there. I love this city, Adam, just like you and Katie do. This is home. This is me. I'm a young entrepreneur, younger relatively. I'm not young anymore, excuse me. But I love this city, and that city told me no after they gave other licenses, and it was a setback. And I told them, this is a setback because I don't pay minimum wage. I pay livable wages. My chefs at Heaterz make between $17 and $21 an hour. To me, that makes me happy, right? Amazing. I'm not KFC. I'm not a corporate. I'm not treating people like corporate people. I'm empowering people. And then we got another location. We have a food truck. Who wants to help me grow this? How can I motivate everybody to have a greater sense than just trading hours for dollars? People get stuck in this, hey, this is all I'm ever going to be. I'm going to trade hours for dollars, where I believe in profit sharing, community support, all this stuff. But I love all that.
Curse on this show. Hey, this
I'm
show.
Sorry.
No. Hey, this show is meant to be real, unapologetic, and authentic, my brother.
Well, I appreciate that because I will bring authenticity every time you guys invite me here. So I love Alton. I see Alton as a place where the population has declined. I see Alton as a place where new businesses aren't eager to necessarily invest in. And there's certain people here, like the people listening, like the three of us on this show, that know our potential is untapped. And if all of us believe in ourselves, believe in our mission, and believe in our community, we can begin to turn that where our population is growing. New businesses are entering. We can become that business-friendly community to sustain growth. Because as you guys have said on this show in the past, this city is gorgeous.
Oh, it's so pretty.
When you come across the bridge, I have the same feeling you do, Adam. It's beautiful. And I'm so proud to be from here. But we can all do better, right? We can all do better. And that's why we're sitting here today, right? We're encouraging other people listening. Great minds have ideas. Average minds talk about events. Small minds talk about people. So today we're sitting here talking about ideas. And hopefully we're stirring people up to say, hey, bet on yourself. I don't have a lot of money. I didn't come from a lot of money, but I doubled down on everything I had. I took everything I had and put it on the line because I knew I'm committed. Nobody will outwork me. And it's blossomed. I'm going to double down again and again until people like us, people listening, and people who have aspired to reach their dreams, go for it. You have one shot. Let's go. Right?
Katie, I'm so inspired right now. Honestly, I'm thinking about canceling the rest of my family trip. And I'm thinking about really invest. I'm going to start looking for some real estate tomorrow, I think, here in Florida. Dan, you got me so jacked. Dan, dude, for those watching, this is freaking fire. Your energy, man. Like
every day.
It's
every
insane.
Day, all day, Adam.
Baby, dude, Katie, why have I not hung? Why is he?
What did I tell you when we went to lunch there last year?
Why does he not get invited to hang out with us? Why did you not invite him? Why is he not allowed? Like,
I took you to lunch there.
I'm banned from a lot of places, Adam.
Bring him into. Hey, let's bring him into the round table. We need more.
Honestly, yes.
Hey.
Love the round table.
Here's the deal, though.
No, the round table is my kitchen table where we'd have Tuesday night meetings and talk business.
Our community needs more people like Dan that have passion, enthusiasm. And let me turn this corner real quick because I'm going to throw something at you pretty deep. When you look at your career and you look at how far you've gone, you've got the right mindset. So your mindset obviously has helped you prevail through the setbacks, right? Because it's your mindset that keeps us afloat. But if you could go back and talk to the Dan King in 2000 and let's say 10, what's that conversation look like? You're sitting with a younger version, 10 years. Let's just go back 10 years All right, you're sitting at the Regal Beagle, plugging you guys. Sorry, you're having a beer at the Regal Beagle or Fast Eddie's, wherever in Alton, or Sports Tap. What are you saying to that 10-year younger version of yourself? What advice would you give that young man?
I guess there's two pieces of advice I would give. The first one is believe in yourself. There's no one else that's going to give you an opportunity like you could provide yourself. If you believe you have it, you have the desire to have it, you need to go get it. The second, and I'm stealing this, I believe, from David Ramsey. Forgive me. Don't Google search me and provide me with the wrong. It's okay. My thought is I would rather live like no one else today so that I can live like no one else tomorrow. Because so many people get caught up on their today. I need to have joy today. I need to do this for me today. I need a time off today, right? I have all these things that's not going to get you to where you want to be in the long run. You see so many people who enjoy their life so much today that they don't want to put in overtime. They don't want to put enough overtime where you can actually buy your own business. People want to sleep more than they want to be successful. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want economic freedom, you have to dig deeper than you've ever dug before. And no, it's not for today. It's not for a year from now. It's not even for 3 years from now. But 5, 10, 15 years from now, I'm going to have freedom that 99% of Americans dream of. But if you're not willing to put the work in, if you're not willing to put the sacrifice in, it doesn't come on a silver spoon. Unless you come from a family that I didn't come from, no one's going to hand it to you. So if you're hungry, bet on yourself. But if you have any self-doubt, or if you have any things that you'd rather do, like maybe go have beers at Sports Tap on Thursday or Regal Beagle, instead of challenging your brain to 3 a.m., don't bet on yourself. You're going to fail. If you're willing to commit, you're going to win, right? There's no other option. There's no other option.
Love it. God, strong. You know, here I got Katie. Go ahead, Kate. Go ahead.
I know something. I forgot to ask you this the other day, Danny. What did your mom say when you told her you were going to quit nursing? I want to know that. Like, what did your parents say? Your support system, other than Julie?
That's great. Thank you, Katie. Katie knows my mother. My mother is a true hero to me. She was a nurse 45 years, and being a nurse was who she was. And things change these days, and people don't identify by their jobs. Yep. And when I went into business, I thought I was going to move to Vegas and get a business degree and work my way up the casino world. Like, I had this fictitious, I think I'd be good at that. That's me. And the economy just said, nope, Dan King, there's no jobs in business. And my mom was my support system that said, Dan, you care about people. That's always been you. You're always good to people. You'd be a great nurse. And my mom inspired me to be a nurse. And then through my career that, we've talked about a little bit and all the things I've done in nursing, I was never quite self-fulfilled. I felt great about the impact I gave to people. I never felt good about my personal impact on like what I'm leaving behind. What's my legacy? And when I had bought Sports Tap, I'll be honest, I was afraid to tell my parents. So I called my brother. I'm like, Pat, we need to talk. I don't want to hear anything, but here's I've already done it. So don't lecture me. Here's what I did. And my brother, to my surprise, was like, that's awesome. We're going to support you. I think you're going to do good. And he gave me the confidence to bring it to my mom. And I didn't quit my job overnight. I kept it for 4 months, and I worked so many hours. I was physically sick for months at a time because I had this whole restaurant to manage, brand new, on top of a 50-hour career, 60-hour career. And I'll tell you, the one time my mom gave me slack is when I told her I bought Mini Corral. She said, you have too much on your plate. Why would you buy that building too? I said, Mom, I see something that no one else can see. So my mom's been very supportive. But when I went from one restaurant to 2, she did, because she loves me and cares about me, and said, don't overextend yourself. I don't want you to have a stroke. I said,
well, and it's hard, as an entrepreneur to talk to other people who don't see your vision, and if you are somebody who cares about what other people thinks, or you are more of a people pleaser, you're going to have a harder time, I think. And I know you, Dan, you got thick skin, and I can see you, just crushing everything you think about because of your attitude. And, even if you're not a natural born leader or natural born, extrovert, I think that you can take some of what you're saying or what Adam's saying or I say, and apply that to your personal, experience with business. And what we're saying doesn't just apply to a restaurant or healthcare or whatever. It applies to any business. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're running an Etsy shop or you're running, a corporate hospital. It's all the same kind of motivation to get you there, and the focus and the drive. And that's what's so important. And I think our generation, and maybe hopefully even the younger, can definitely do some positives to turn that around in Alton, because we're seeing, this young energy come in. And a lot of the businesses around here are owned by the older population. So as these newer business owners come in, hopefully we see more energy like that, just kind of being pushed into all the businesses in Alton. How cool would that be?
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen. Hey, Kate, here, the saying, if you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what?
The same result.
And the same, if you're looking for more of the same, then let's not hang out on this show, right? We can go do other things. There's other things we could be doing right now, right? But if you're looking to grow, enhance our lives, and help our community and serve people, this is where we need to be in Wake Up Riverbend. This is the message Katie and I we're trying to really send to our community. We are blessed. Katie comes from a lineage of entrepreneurship. Katie's father's a guy I love dearly. Look up to him dearly. And I don't know her, like her grandparents, great. I don't know them, but I know Rich, and I know he's awesome. And the idea with me is I'm a self-made guy. Like I didn't have anybody, and I'm still trying to figure out. But the one thing Katie and I think, Dan, you can agree with this, is I think we are all works in progress. And I think we're all curious. And if there's one word our viewers can write down on a legal pad, text themselves, write down the word curious or curiosity. If you can continue to stay curious, you will continue to grow and elevate your life. Those that become less curious are involved in the status quo, and they live a world of average. And average leads to complacency. And then complacency leads to death. And then what are we really doing, right? So I'll tell you, this show today's got me. Dan, I need you to promise me one thing. I got one more final question for you, but I need you to promise me something. Promise you'll come back on with us again. Like this show.
Anytime you want.
Katie reached out and goes, I gotta have Dan. Dan's gotta come on. I'm like, I met Dan. I've been watching you. I friended you on Facebook like 6 months ago or so. I go to your restaurant often. My girlfriend Sylvia, she plays volleyball every week at your place. Yep. Nothing but incredible positive reviews. In case and I'm like, yeah, let's get them. And Dan, I'm gonna tell you, I'm freaking motivated. You've inspired me, man. Like I'm thinking about cutting my vacation short and getting back to work. That's where my head is right now after talking with you. But I've got one final question.
Yes, sir.
One question, and then Katie, you can think if you've got anything after me, Katie. All right, sweetheart. I got one question. If you could define yourself in just one word, like the one word that represents Dan King, what's that one word? Sorry, I threw you off. I had to.
I love it. And first off, I appreciate the kind words, and you guys keep me motivated just as much. I mean, there's nothing better than having conversations like this that get all of us excited and fired up. I think there's two words, and I hate to say two words.
Okay, bring it.
But there is. Through my nursing career that has translated into entrepreneurship, there's one word that sticks out to me that you have to be: adaptable. If you're not adaptable, the situation's going to overwhelm you. It's going to overtake you. It's going to frustrate you. It's going to piss you off. But if you can adapt and figure out, oh, we got to slide this way, we got to move this way, and we're going to survive today, tomorrow, next week, that's very important. But I think the one thing that I've had since I've left the corporate world which is so inspiring. It makes me feel so free, is originality. I'm myself every day. I wake up and I know who I am, and I know what values I believe in, which my first one is my team, because there's nothing that brings me happiness more than to be able to move my team forward through leadership. That inspires me every day to know that we created 14 jobs in Upper Alton, where most of the people walk to their job. We created that. That is believing in yourself. That's believing in your mission. That's believing in your cause. And it takes a little guts, right? So it's a little hard to bet on yourself, but the first time you bet on yourself and you win, it's a windfall. And you guys know that better than I do.
Domino effect, baby.
I'm going to double down on myself and my community every chance I get.
Amen. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it here. And I'm sitting here, I've been taking, here's the thing. I believe that you can learn something from every human being that you encounter. You know, I've been telling myself, Adam, be a little bit more slow to just kind of speak, more eager to listen. I got a page of notes right now. I've been writing notes, Dan. You've really, I know you've provided a lot of value to our viewers, because you provided a ton of value to us. Katie, is there anything you want to sound off with before we?
I want to hear what's up at Sports Tap or Heaterz coming up in the next week, 2 weeks. You guys got any events? I know you got karaoke certain nights. I saw you karaoke Kokomo last time I was there. What do you got coming up?
That's awesome, Katie. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to explain. We're not stagnant. I don't believe in stagnant. Adam, you made a good point earlier about mediocrity and not celebrating it. And if we're not winning month over month, year over year, we're doing something wrong. So in terms of events, we have the Adult Wrestling Federation come back in September.
Yes.
We have the Midget Wrestling Federation come back for the third time, which puts on a heck of a show. But more importantly than just the events that we do and the sense of community that we have and the sponsorships at St. Ambrose Apple Fest and all the cool things that we do, we have true growth in our future, true growth that inspires me and my staff to continue to do what we do, to take it to the next level, to find succession planning for each and every one of us, because we signed a deal. I don't know the official open date, 8 weeks or less. We're going to be downtown Kirkwood. Heaterz Hot Chicken will be downtown Kirkwood. No bells or whistles. We're there within 2 months off Jefferson Avenue next to PJ's Tavern. Very well-known, well-run establishment with a good friend of mine, Adam Hardig. We have a 24-foot food truck being custom built for us that we have a lot of plans to do things from golf tournaments to caterings to parking it. And then finally, we're going to partner with a kitchen in Swansea to roll out a true ghost kitchen. It'll be the first of our kind. So we're going to do nothing but delivery only. We're going to have heaters down there. And we're just going to sponsor this new ghost kitchen, which is the future of food delivery services, bringing new brands in underneath one roof. We're going to put 3 brands under one roof that you can get delivered at any time. So the growth is there, but it's reinvesting in your growth and finding the team that sees your vision. And I'm so fortunate right now to have a team that believes in me, believes in our mission, and they're just as hungry as me, where they're watching all the videos. Hey, Dan, with our food truck, here's what we need to do. Hey, Dan. And my only goal is to wake up before them every day and to go to bed after them every day. And I'm so lost with it that my wife will tell you, when I get in the shower, I wash myself in 30 seconds as fast as I can. Then I pull my phone in the shower. That's the only time I'm by myself where I can start to think. So thankfully, iPhones are waterproof now. But when I'm home, I want to be with my newborn daughter and my wife. So that 20 minutes in the shower, 30-second shower, 19 and a half minutes work, because it's hard to get alone, but you have to find the time, right? Wow. So, long answer, but I'm so fired up if you can't tell. And
yeah, we can tell. Hey, we can tell. So for our people out there, make sure you're following the Sports Tap Facebook page for all the new developments, the new shows. And I did see the little wrestling deal. I think it's great. If I on a weekend where we can get sitters or we don't have the kids, we'll definitely be down there. Make sure you're following Dan King online. You're on Facebook. Where else can people find you?
We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're shooting out new videos every day. Follow us at heaterzhotchicken.com or altonsportstap.com. I appreciate everyone who tuned in today. I appreciate the support. Adam, Katie, you guys are rock stars, man. We're so thankful to have innovative minds like you creating shows like this where we can bring passionate, innovative people together to show all the changes within this community. So in front of all the guests tonight and everyone who's going to watch this after recording, you guys rock. Keep doing what you're doing, because I don't know if enough people are telling you guys that. You guys are the true pioneers, and I appreciate you letting me tag along tonight because I've had one hell of a good time. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we thank you and we appreciate you very, very much. Do us a favor, Dan. Spend another 3 minutes if you could. I'm going to take you off the air, off the broadcast. Hang out for a couple minutes. Katie and I want to talk to you about a few things. We greatly appreciate you. And for those that have never eaten at Sports Tap, do it. There's people in St. Louis that are going to be watching the show. Get across the river. I know Fast Eddie's is a great spot. Loading Dock is a great spot. I'm not saying don't go there. I'm saying go there. And if you go there, call me. I'll meet you. But I'll tell you that you're not going to get better. There's no better hot chicken sandwich than anywhere in the country than Sports Tap. And their hot wings are better than anyone's in the country. I'm telling you, especially for like catered events, gatherings, whatever it is, get their food to go. You will be a winner chicken dinner. You see what I did with that chicken dinner? Winner chicken dinner. If you bring that to the party, you will be the life of the party. So, Dan, thank you very much. Hang tight for just a couple of minutes, brother. We'll be right back with you. Katie, wow. My goodness. Thank you. You know what? This is your relationship now. I mean, I'm honestly kind of a fanboy. I'm probably going to go there 4 or 5 days a week and just hang out now. Dan's got some incredible energy. Wow. How long?
He's like that all the time too. You're never going to find him. 20 something. I mean, probably 24.
Wow. Yeah, he's
at
special.
Least. Yeah.
He's an example of grit, grind, belief in self. The one thing too, Katie, you and I, we've had a very interesting path in entrepreneurship. And, there's the wins and there's the losses. And sometimes there's seasons of losses. And it's having people like you and Dan that you're connected to that can keep us through the storm, that can weather through the storm together. It's all here. It's the mind. If we can challenge ourselves to work on our mindset, nothing's impossible. I don't know about you, Katie. I want to work now. Dan's got me jacked. How about you?
I'm ready for bed. This is my bedtime, Adam.
I think I'm going to work for another. I think I'm going to work for another hour. So with that being said, here on behalf of Katie and myself, to our community, we love you. We love you. I mean, we can't tell you how much you all mean to us. Our community is everything. Seeing local businesses in our community thrive is everything. Seeing other business owners collaborating together is everything. When you live a life of wanting everyone to win, you will win in 10x proportions. And Katie, you and I both have found that to be absolute fact. If you love on people and you help other people get what they want, you'll end up getting what you want. And there's some selfishness out of that, right? But at the end of the day, we're here to help each other, love on each other, and support each other. So Katie and I are so proud of each and every one of you in our community that are making a difference. We ask you to continue to follow us, follow our page, share our page, ask others. The one thing, Katie, you and I have been talking this week a little bit. One thing you can do for Katie and I, if anything, do it for Katie. She's the good-looking one here. Do it for her, not me. Invite people to like and follow our page. Invite people to like and follow our page. Share our broadcast. We're not trying, not that here. What we want to do is connect our community. We want to get our community a little bit tighter. Not that it's not tight. It's already tight. We want it to get intimate. We want to grow our community. We want to put all on a map that's magnified and it's radiant. All right. Alton, Godfrey, Jerseyville, Wood River, Roxana, East Alton. We may talk a little bit of Edwardsville because we love you too, Edwardsville. With that, Katie, you got anything else before we sound off?
I think that's it. Share our videos. Keep sharing.
Keep sharing. All right, Katie, as always, I love you. I love you, Katie. Sleep well tonight, my friend. For the rest of you,
have a nice trip.
Stay classy, Riverbend. See, I'm reading the teller. Go F. No, stay classy, Riverbend. That's Ron Burgundy. All right, love you guys. Have a good night. See ya. Be on the broad.